Welcome to the first Coop car talk. Chances are I'm probably going to be super awkward in this. I'm not going to sound like myself. And, yep, my phone might fall. So, that will not happen on the next one because I just got a car mount for my phone. Let's turn this down too, just in case. No, essentially, I just feel compelled to make daily vlogs in the car as I'm driving to work, to the gym, driving to the grocery store, I don't know, wherever. The idea kind of spawned from Sam Sulek. He's one of my big gym motivation guys that I follow. But obviously, I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder in that sense. I just felt compelled to do this. I want this to essentially be like my form of journaling, of journal taking. So, first of all, I didn't even think the music would work, but I think because I just got this mic today, I guess it does something to the sound and it allows me to play music while I'm shooting a video, which is awesome. So, yeah, I am on my way to the gym right now. Today is leg day. We're gonna warm up, do some knees over toes, and then after the knees over toes, I think I'm gonna go hit leg extensions, leg curls, and then after those I'll hit squats and then some RDLs, and I'll end with some calves and just some stretching. Oh man, I don't know if I like that lighting. But yeah, and as I've been thinking more about doing this, because this was kind of an off the whim, off the cusp kind of thing. I just started watching Sam Sulek again. I've been into the gym for a while. But just the way that Sam does his format, there's something that's simple and calming about it. And so I kind of want to create that same thing, and I'm not really doing it for views or anything like that. I just feel like in my life lately, I've been in this spot where I don't want to say like I'm missing something, but I feel like I've been in a spot where I'm not satisfied. And so part of doing this, I think, is wanting to just be proactive about something in my life that might just make me more accountable to myself. Knowing that I'm going to be doing these videos, going to be introspective, and kind of talking through my day and everything. And I mean, the way I have my mic set up right now is exactly like Sam Sulek. I'm not a hat guy. I normally don't wear hats. And I'm probably going to try out some different mic arrangements because I don't think I need to have it right here. And it makes sense for him where he's like going to the gym and putting on, like keeping his hat on at the gym. It's an easy way to have the mic that doesn't look weird, doesn't look awkward. But, man, that is such a weird looking angle. I don't know. So, I think a little bit about me. I mean, if you're on this channel, you probably know that I make music because this is my channel where I make music. Most of the music I've made is rap / some R&B type stuff as well. And aside from that, I work at an AI software company right now. I've been at the company for a while since it first got started, and I did sales for a while at the company. Now we're finally in a place where I'm able to switch to what I would prefer to do, which is software development. And so I'm beginning to ease into that role at the company. And we're still pretty small, a little under 50 employees I think we're at right now. I was employee number, aside from the founders, I think employee number 7. So I was there pretty early, which is cool. It's awesome to see the company growing. But essentially what I'm trying to do right now, I mean, I just started diligently tracking my calories. And this video is going to be all over the place as well. But, so I've always been pretty athletic. Played lots of sports growing up. The main sport I played was soccer. I started playing soccer around the age of 3. I played all through my childhood, middle school, high school. I was on varsity for a majority of high school. And then I played a little bit in college. And I graduated college about a year ago, which is when I started working at the AI software company I'm at. And right as I started working there, I was playing in one of my club games at college, and I tore my right hip flexor. Man, that looks so bad. I tore my right hip flexor. So that was January of last year. This is February, obviously. And when I tore that, it was problematic, obviously. The reason I say that is because my body was very used to doing a lot of cardio and a lot of weightlifting at the time. So I was playing soccer on like 3 or 4 times a week, so pretty regularly. I would also wake up and I'd do runs in the mornings, and then I'd lift in the afternoons before I played soccer as well. So my body was used to doing a lot, and I was eating a lot, but staying lean. Oh man, I did not like how that looks, because this is freaking awkward and my face is just in the shadows, but that's more practical for me. So anyways, my body was used to doing a ton of exercise, and I was eating a lot, staying lean. But when I tore my hip flexor, obviously I could not even really walk for a couple weeks. And then I slowly started to do rehab and everything like that. I got back to being able to do most of the things I enjoy doing. I could not sprint for a very long time just because it would strain that same muscle. But I really focused on rehabilitating that muscle and everything. But where I just completely cut out cardio, essentially, because I couldn't do much, I put on, I don't know, not a ton of weight, but I'm heavier than I would like to be right now. And so, long story short, like I was saying maybe 5 minutes ago, I just started tracking calories this morning. I follow the Mind Pump. Mind Pump, it's a exercise podcast online. I follow that quite a bit. And so I'm kind of following the advice that I saw in a recent episode where they talk about how to find your maintenance calories. And I kind of had an idea of what my maintenance calories were in the past. It was a little over 3,000, where I was doing so much. But I'm just starting to ease back into doing cardio, so I think I really need to find my new maintenance calorie levels again. Start fresh. So I just started tracking this morning. I filled in everything I've eaten so far today. And I think I need to do that same sort of process for the next 2 weeks, not really trying to limit anything, but just seeing what I would normally eat on a regular basis to get my new maintenance. And then from there, once I get the new maintenance, I'll probably drop it about 250 calories, put a cap on it, and use that as a way to kind of lean out. So what I'm doing right now is I wake up and I run in the mornings again. So I do anywhere from a 20 to 30 minute run. I'll usually warm up for that run with some jump rope. And then I come home, eat breakfast, get ready for work, head to work. Once I'm at work, I do my normal work day. And then after work is when I normally will go hit the gym and lift. And like I said, I'm going to do leg day right now. But so I'm hoping, in terms of just being accountable to myself, that these will help. Just talking through kind of my day, talking through my plan for the next day, and just kind of going through everything. So, yeah, I mean, that's where we're at right now. And I don't know. I'm also thinking that, so I was having lunch with a friend today, one of my colleagues. We just went to his house, ate with his family. He was talking about, I forgot what he brought up, but we had just been talking about me wanting to start this and do this. And he brought something else up, and he had mentioned that it was that coworker or his friend's way of doing like journaling, because he didn't like to write in a book. And so he wanted to do this so his kids could go back and watch this. And I was thinking about that. Let me tilt this down a little bit. I was thinking about that and thinking like, oh, this would, because I'm not very good at journaling either. I feel like I'm just doing so much all the time that it's hard for me to sit down and really contemplate about it. So I like the idea of doing this because normally in a car ride, what I'd be doing is I'd be listening to beats and trying to come up with new ideas for songs, or listening to music or listening to a book. But I think it would be really cool to just use it as a time for self introspection. Um, and hopefully one day, like whoever wants to can watch it, and maybe they'll find some sort of nuggets that they like in there. Or my kids could watch it one day and kind of watch their father going through young adulthood and into adulthood, because I'd like to do this on a regular basis and make it just a habit that I have. Um, so that's where I'm at with like exercise and body image and everything like that. Leading up to when I got hurt, I had been bulking for a while. So going through high school and doing all the exercise that I always did, I was always super skinny. Like I had a crazy fast metabolism. And so when I was, and that I was skinny basically through the age of 19. My first year of college, like 18 to 19. That's when I had really started taking weightlifting seriously, and I put on a sizable amount of mass right before going on my mission. So I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, more commonly known as Mormons. And normally around the age of 18 to 20, the young men of the church, and young women sometimes, they'll leave on missions. And the average mission length for a member of the church is about 2 years. So, and my mission was pretty archaic in terms of what we had access to. I served in Chile, Santiago, in one of the poorer areas of that city, of that capital. And we didn't have a car or anything like that. So all the work that we did was always, we were walking to and from where we had to go. And so I had a lot of walking, not a ton of food. So over the course of that 2 years, I got pretty freaking skinny. I'll probably, at some point, you may or may not see a picture of what I looked like right when I got back from that. And so I got back from that in 2020. I actually had to come home a couple months early because of COVID, right at the beginning of 2020. And when I got back, I was super skinny. So then for the past 5-ish years now, coming up on, well, because I didn't start lifting till the fall of 2020 when I went back to college. So I would say for about 4 years, a little over 4 years, I've been lifting fairly consistently. I mean, there's been peaks and valleys in terms of how often I go, but I've been doing that. And essentially, because I was so skinny throughout that entire period, I essentially did a bulk throughout those 4 years. And like I said, where I was doing soccer and everything like that, like I stayed lean and still was able to put on muscle, not at a rate which I would like, but I've come to learn that building muscle takes time, because I've gotten much stronger, put on a lot more muscle than I had back then. So that's kind of where like my physical aspect is at. And then in terms of like career wise, like I said, I've been at this AI startup last year, where it was pretty much just sales. I was solid at sales. I had a good amount of sales, but with the way that a couple of the deals that the founders of the company set up, we weren't able to make as much money as we initially thought we were going to be able to, because of how discounted the product was for these big corporate deals that we had. So I made jack shiz in terms of money last year. And one thing I feel about that, though, and maybe this is me just trying to appease my emotion towards that, like my negative emotion. I can kind of view it as, it was interesting to go and experience that type of career, that type of work, without being blinded by a ton of money. And so that past year of just doing sales, which I would say I was fairly successful in, and then towards November of last year, one of the founders pulled me aside, and he said he wanted me to help build out the training department of the company, and not internal training, but new customer training. So teaching customers how to use the AI software, how to use the whole platform, everything like that. Because up until that point, we didn't have anything like that in place, and we had a pretty high churn, a pretty high attrition rate for all of our customers, which essentially just means that we had a lot of customers that would sign up and then leave. But we've worked through a lot of that, built up the training department. A new guy came on. He and I kind of collaborated. I got him up to speed pretty quick. And then now what I'm doing is... Oh, shoot. Let me put this back up. There we go. All right. So now what I'm doing at the company is, well, I have a computer science degree from the college I went to. I went to BYU in Utah. And I think throughout this year of doing sales and new customer training, I think I pretty much have decided that I don't enjoy customer facing jobs a ton. Oh shoot. Sorry about that. Some lady was trying to pull out, but then second guessed it. Yeah, I basically realized that I don't enjoy the customer facing jobs as much. And where I have a whole degree where I learned, oh my goodness, this lady just went over the curb. Yeah, I basically learned that I don't enjoy customer facing roles as much. At least I think that's the case. Because dealing with customers that are just complaining all the time is annoying. So where I had this degree, where I have a ton of technical experience, and where it's in a space that's growing so fast, which is the AI space, I figured, okay, why not put this degree to use and go figure out how to do some pretty advanced AI programming type stuff. Because once this company's done, whether or not I go on and do another venture with these founders or I move on to some other company, I know the experience that I would get here by being a developer would be pretty lucrative. So I'm kind of planning, I guess, for future proofing my career and stuff like that. So there's those two things. And then the two other main aspects of my life right now are probably church related, which is, I don't have to get super into that because that's more personal. But I'm just working on my relationship with God right now. And then the music. So what I ultimately want with the music is, and I'll have another video about this where I'll probably go way more in depth. What I ultimately want is to have the music make just as much money as my job would. I never want to quit a job to go do music all the time, because I don't want to be dependent on the music financially, because I feel like that would just taint the whole therapeutic experience that music is for me. So I don't want that, and it took me years to kind of come to that conclusion, but I came to that realization ultimately a little over a year ago. That's kind of where everything's at. But I'm at the gym, so I'll follow up again once I'm on my way home, and then that'll be the first episode. So until I come back.